Eventually, Sergey's so mad because now he has a cut under his chin that he runs into the kitchen and he wants to try to grab a knife.
It was just really one of the most intense moments that I personally have seen being a part of this show for 2 seasons now. Sergey went to grab that knife and scared the shit out of everybody. I had to grab the knife from one of the guys. It was really intense, and I think for the first time, everybody on set kind of felt really unsafe.
Bro, it's nothing here. Don't get in the way of the strong ones, huh? Who's gonna hit me? Bro! It's nothing, yeah! I'll cut you up, bro! Something could happen in this house, right at the entrance! Huh? I'll cut you up, bro!
Give me the knife.
Sit down here. I'll tell you.
Who hit me?
Right now.
Who is it? Who hit me? I'm not that kind of person, bro!
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Why are you hitting me on the
Look
sly?
at me.
Wait!
Don't
Wait!
scream.
Brother, I have to go. I think we're gonna go home. I might give them their money back and stay home, man. I don't know if I can't do this shit. It's too much. Somebody's gonna get hurt bad. Like bad. No, I didn't know it was like this. It's like really bad. This guy got hit in the face like when he wasn't paying attention. Like he was sitting there and somebody hit him on the side of the face. But now they're fighting outside. Man, I don't know if I can do this, man. Tell him this is too much. Like I might not be able to do this. Like go back money and I go America.
Please, we all really
crazy,
need you,
man.
bro.
The knife? We'll throw the knife away.
Daniel Cormier mentioned that he wanted to go home, and obviously we can't do this show without Daniel Cormier, especially this far into it. You know, I stood up and I just talked to the guys about the fact that ultimately this is a TV show, and ultimately we have families at home and kids and sponsors and all types of stuff, and none of us can afford to lose any of this. Right now, one of our coaches is debating on staying. At the end of the day, Daniel Cormier is a big star in America. He's a father, he's a coach. It's his responsibility to make sure that his team is safe while they're out here. At the end of the day, this competition, we're all on the same team. I know you guys have real conflicts, but ultimately our goal is to make good TV. If we lose one of our coaches, we can't make good TV. The fighting, the violence is a lot of fun, but nothing on this show is worth losing your life, whether that's in the ground or in jail. I understand how Daniel feels because when I see things like knives, I personally don't really want to be here either. So guys, please don't make it hard for myself or Daniel by making this show life-threatening. Thank you. Also, guys, I just love to take the chance to say thank you to DC for staying.
So this might be the craziest thing that Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier have ever been a part of, guys, and that's saying a lot because this video is going to take you down a very, very scary tunnel, guys. These are things that I don't really like to report, but it happened, and you'll find two enemies or two guys who really kind of disliked each other but have a mutual admiration and respect for one another to the point where they kind of protected one another as well. I'm going to get into this, guys, and I'm going to tell you what happened because Jon Jones had to convince DC to stay on this Russian TUF Tough Enough series after a competitor threatened DC with a knife. Yes, guys, that happened because during the filming of a Russian reality fight show, the Tough Enough series, things got completely out of control to the point that a fighter actually tried to go and grab a knife, and God knows what would have happened had that happened. Luckily, Jon Jones stepped in, okay, and to try to stop the situation from turning into something really, really bad. And in him doing so, he actually pulled Daniel Cormier aside because Daniel Cormier was ready to walk. He was ready to leave. He was going to leave the show completely, but Jon Jones pulled him aside, had a good chat with him, and convinced DC to stay. So let's talk about it, guys. Welcome back. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. And guys, I mean, honestly, like, this story is completely beyond the headlines because a lot of people don't even know this happened, but it did. And it's absolutely crazy. So let me set the stage for you guys so you guys kind of get some context into what's going on. But Jon Jones and DC, probably two of the biggest rivals in MMA history, now coaching one another, right? Or coaching against each other on the Russian version of Tough Enough, right? Or the version of the Ultimate Fighter series called Alf Reality. And if you follow, guys, if you followed this show before, you know this show is, has quite a lot of controversy associated with it. And this is not your normal Tough Enough series, okay? This is not your normal North American kind of approved version content. This particular version, this Russian version, is a little bit extreme to the point where some MMA fighters, North American MMA fighters, had actually had to leave the show because they were afraid of their safety. So yeah, this environment is a little bit different, and honestly, that's probably part of the appeal. That's probably one of the reasons why a lot of people are tuning into this version of TUF. So I mean, unfortunately though, during the taping, things went a little bit too far. And two fighters ended up getting in a very serious fight. I mean, there was punches, kicks. I mean, it was completely full-blown chaos, guys. And after these guys were separated, one of them actually ran into the kitchen and tried to grab a knife. Like, this is how heated this fight got, to the point where somebody felt compelled enough to go get a fight to finish the job, because punches and kicks were obviously not enough. Like, wow. I mean, they could have resorted to like a steel chair and maybe done a completely WWE full out match, but no, they had to go even further to get a knife. Like, what happens when you get a knife? What happens when you use a knife in a fight? Nothing good happens, guys. Absolutely nothing good. So just think about that for a second. Just let that digest, because we're not talking about just trash talk here. We're not talking about a little, shove here or there, or a slap at the weigh-ins. I mean, this is a line where, as a fighter, you can't come back from. I'm sorry, but you can't. When you resort to getting a weapon, especially a knife that can kill, that can end somebody's life, that's completely dangerous, guys. That is absolutely dangerous. So anyways, guys, that's, like I said, that's a line you don't even come back from, that most fighters never come back from. Anyone who does anything of the sort is usually either kicked off or banned from MMA altogether. I mean, even Jon Jones had to weigh in, and he said to himself that this was probably one of the most intense and dangerous moments that he's ever been a part of, right? And so when a guy like Jon Jones is saying that, this is real, all right? And the reason why this story is gaining a lot of traction is because Daniel Cormier, I mean, he's been around the sport, guys. I mean, probably at the highest level they can imagine for many, many years, right? And for him to say that, I'm ready to leave, I'm leaving the show, not mad, not frustrated, he just felt unsafe to the point where he felt that his safety was in question, and he's like, I'm ready to leave. And he said that I might go home. This is too much. Somebody's going to get hurt really bad. And you can't even argue with that. I mean, for him to have said that, he obviously knows that there's a lot of stuff that happened in this series for him to question the integrity of the show, and possibly even the antics, and even the mental sanity of some of these fighters, right? And that unpredictability is just too much for a lot of people. So I kind of agree with DC. If he wanted to go home, he should have just gone home, right? But at that point, I mean, this isn't even a sport anymore. You're talking about trying to protect your life. I mean, that's unpredictable. It's dangerous in a way that you can't necessarily control. But I mean, like, the part that really gets like my attention is the fact that out of everyone there, it was Jon Jones, Daniel Cormier's nemesis. Jon Jones, the same guy that had one of the most heated rivalries with DC, had to step in to kind of keep everything together. And believe me, I know there's been a lot of history between Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones, but if things went south and somebody tried to attack Daniel Cormier, I'm pretty sure Jon Jones would be the first guy to jump in and protect Daniel Cormier. I'm sure Daniel Cormier would do the same for Jon Jones. That's the kind of camaraderie that these people have for one another. that this level of admiration and respect when it comes to fighting, it's there. Yeah, they had some beef. They didn't agree with some things. Daniel Cormier called Jon Jones on this series. On this series, Daniel Cormier got into it with Jon Jones and called him a cheater. So yeah, like these guys had a lot to vent, a lot to get off of their chest. They've said some things to one another during this show, but this crosses the line. This is where the show doesn't become a show anymore. Now it's about survival. So yeah, guys, I mean, like Jon Jones, Jon Jones had to intervene, and he had to prevent from something that could have turned absolutely brutal and chaotic. And to the point where DC was ready to walk, he was ready to go home, he was able to kind of hold everything together. That's interesting, guys. Again, for many, many years, Jon Jones was seen as the unpredictable one. But now he's the one who's being calm, rational, being the voice of reason, right? Keeping the structure the way it is in place. Meanwhile, Cormier, who's always been the one who's very disciplined, steady figure, is the one who's saying that this might not be worth it. I'm ready to bounce. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. I probably would have done the same if I was in his position, right? But that role reversal kind of is, it speaks volumes, right? So look, this isn't just about DC and Jon Jones anymore. I mean, this is about the direction that combat sports is headed, where it's going, the level of, the kind of fighters that are entering the sport, where their head is at. Like, I mean, for somebody to resort to wanting to use a weapon against their opponent, yeah, I mean, it gets views, it goes viral, but people talk about it. But honestly, when people start grabbing weapons, I mean, I don't know how you're able to sell the competition anymore, because now you're just about trying to protect your life. So anyways, this is where promoters and networks and other fighters need to kind of come together to try to find a way to be able to start some kind of dialogue, to talk about ways to be able to mitigate from these things ever happening again, and to find some kind of comprehensive solutions that, there's some kind of a framework for these fighters. Now, just because they're in North America or just because they're overseas, there shouldn't be different rules based on their geography. The rules should be the same. Period. They should be the same. So I don't know, guys. I mean, in the end, Jon Jones, he was able to convince DC to stay. They finished the show, which is great. But honestly, that says a lot about their professionalism, despite everything that happened between them. Right? So, I mean, I don't know, like, honestly, guys, I don't know how many more situations like this need to happen before something really bad goes down, because the next time you may not be able to prevent it, and then it becomes a headline in the story, something that we don't want to read or hear about, right? So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments, guys. I mean, is this the future that that combat sports and MMA is headed? I mean, is this going too far? Do you think Jon Jones did the right thing by convincing DC to stay? Do you think that fighter, I mean, like when is it okay to ever use a weapon? Well, you should never have to use a weapon against your opponent when it comes to the world of combat sports. You should be able to know how to handle your business inside the ring or inside the cage. And if you can't, then you need to belong, like, yeah, you need to be incarcerated if you're going to use a weapon on somebody that could hurt or end somebody's life. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching this. The pleasure was all mine. And as always, if you enjoy these, these kind of breakdowns, please smash a like and subscribe and hit the notification so you guys never miss a beat. And I look forward to catching you guys in tomorrow's video.